What's up guys, and welcome back to WBC Builds. So in this video you may have seen the title. That's right, I am transforming one of my first houses in Walhampton into something a little bit different. So the idea is we take this house behind me right now and we actually turn it into a much bigger, much more grand Georgian house than it currently is. So I've got a place for it set up over on Bridge Street, so without further ado, let's hop, skip and jump over to there and see how this video goes. Right then guys, let's get straight into this transformation. So I've copied the building from where it was originally over here now on Bridge Street, and I've already started hacking away at it, making these windows a bit wider. Now the building itself is based upon a house in Lymington called Monmouth House. It's an 18th century building, refaced timber frame structure, so it's really quite old and it sits on the high street there. It's quite a prominent building, you always see it if you're walking past it. So I originally built this building in August 2019, so quite a while ago now, and at the time, to me, it looked good. I was excited about it, but now looking back over how many buildings I've added to Walhampton since then and how my build style has changed, it no longer fits the bill as being this grand Georgian house. So it's time to tear it down, it's time to transform it. Now that comes on to a lesson I just want to sort of give you guys in building. Never settle with your first idea, or never settle with, a building if you don't feel 100% about it. So throughout all of my building time, I've always been tearing buildings down and starting again, just because you have to. There is no way you can expand your skills if you don't try and try again with something. So this is what this transformation is all about. It's mainly my way of saying, look, I've gone from building like this to building like this in under 12 months. You guys can do it too. It's fun, it's interesting to experiment, even with just different buildings within the same style. Now, I'm going to do a lovely bit of a garden and even add a few more houses around this building, because that's another thing I wanted to say. A building is only as good as the landscape it's been put in. You can build a building on a flat plane wherever it goes, but it just will look weird, out of place and just not right. These types of buildings, these Georgian houses, really suit having quite nice big bushy gardens. So lots of leaves, lots of bushes around the place, and it really brings out the red in the brick, and it just helps dull it with the green as well. I don't know, some arty stuff. Now there's a sort of strange coloured section to this house. It's not red brick, it's actually been made out of birch for me, but it would be a yellow brick in real life. Now this was an 19th century extension, and it does sort of makes the building double in size. In our world here, it's going to be the kitchen in the house. So you may be wondering, okay, why are we doing this video? What's going on? So this is my way of saying, right, I'm procrastinating doing my next episode of Let's Build Walhampton by building another house. And actually, in turn, by building it over here, I have kickstarted the idea of me putting the school down and building up this part of Walhampton. So I know I'm really terrible at this, and I'm actually not just procrastinating one episode of Let's Build Walhampton. I've got two on the go at the moment, two different streets, one the High Street, one a place called Dock Lane. So we will get to those at some point, guys. Don't worry about that. If you haven't already checked it out, check it out now. It's a great series, and it just shows my building of this entire town. Okay, so moving on now to the garden and a bit of landscaping. This is 100% what brings a build together, and I'm just placing a little path around, going to put some trees down, and as you saw, we've got the workers' cottages there sitting next to the building itself. Now, I have actually enjoyed having this time lapse without any shaders on, so it's a little bit different for me. Usually I have shaders throughout the video, so let me know in the comments, guys, what you think about that. I think it's a lot clearer, and I think it shows off what I'm trying to build a bit more. And then obviously we're going to have some shaders on in the cinematic. So I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of the time lapse, and then there's a cinematic plus a showcase of me wandering around, showing you guys what I've done internally and giving you a few more ideas on how to decorate inside Georgian houses. So catch you at the showcase and enjoy the cinematic. So there we go, you've seen me transform this beautiful Georgian house from its original starting point as this really quite small, not very imposing, not very impressive looking building into one that has some proper grandeur about it. It really does feel like it's meant to be in the Georgian period, and yeah, I've actually really enjoyed just upgrading it. It's definitely something I'd like to do a bit more with a few of these other buildings, especially down this street here. These were all built a long time ago and I've definitely upgraded my building skills since then. So anyway, I think I need to show you guys around this place. I've done a few of the rooms inside, and of course I've done the garden as well. But yeah, first things first, let's take a little wander around the front garden and I'll show you what I've put in there. So we've got over there a flagpole, because why not? Why not sport the flag of Whiteberg a little bit more? It's not around the house, around the town enough already. But yeah, so you stand here by this little gate, let me in, and then anyway, so you look up there and you've got this nice flagpole, very well centered here. At the top, I've gone for a skeleton skull to act as a little capping point, which I think works really well. Not only that, we've got these lovely gas lampposts lining the street here as well. This is a style me and a couple of builders on here have been working with, just to try and standardize a really nice gas lamppost style. So yeah, you'll see those quite a lot around town from now on. But what we can do before we go inside, I'm stalling for time, obviously, you know I do this. You've got this beautiful view down here, which I didn't really think about at first. But yes, the canal runs through here. This is just one of these many canals in Walhampton. But you can come down to this towpath and look up and you see these double peeled two chimneys and the roofs. And that there screams Georgian house to me, or at least really early 18th century house. So without further ado, let's get inside, because I've now explored the entirety of the outside. And yeah, so firstly, we've got this really nice front garden. I was meant to put some flowers in these podstool bits, but that never happened. So we've got these lovely flower beds. Oh, look at the roses in there. And just bushes and trees and all sorts going around. But yeah, so a nice little feature I've done with this, just to give it a bit more character, is used the fences as drain pipes. Now, you may have saw me get out my my debug stick and change those throughout the video. So I've gone just to weld a few, but that's just a really nice little detail you can do with that. And then you've got the hoppers up there as the sort of rain catchers. Now, coming on into the building itself, these two big doors opened up into a really nice hallway. So inside here you can see, yes, that's right, those are shulker boxes, black, grey ones, and they work, I think, remarkably well as making a sort of black tile on the floor to go alongside the diorite blocks, as polished ones. Now, in 1.16, of course, you can use black stone, but this is only in 1.14, so none of that exists yet. So you open up into this really big room, and you go, okay, there's some lighting somewhere. Boom, behind me, this nice little lamp design. I believe I took inspiration from one of my builders on the server, builder of Rensgate, Hology, but I've sort of changed up a little bit, gone for these more beige coloured lampshades made out of stripped birch, and then you've got the end rod acting as the light, and then the pedestal for it is just a lovely anvil. You know, you really want those lying around the place. Anyway, I think we should go left first into the study. So I've gone for quite heavy dark oak furniture. This is mainly just due to the style anyway. Close the door behind us, of course. And then straight away you're greeted with this really nice green desk in front of this big open fire. Red velvet chairs, because this place is owned by someone who is fairly well off. They've got quite a lot of money. They can definitely spend some money on their furnishings. So that's the study / office. Directly opposite that, I've gone for a nice big open living room, drawing room type affair. Again, red velvet chairs sitting in front of this fireplace, lampshades, and then heavy dark oak furniture lining the walls. But these work really nicely as shelves, and then a bookshelf. Over here in the sort of more snug area, you've got this big open fire, two windows, one that looks out onto the garden. Oh look, you can see all the wicker chairs and that out there, and then one that looks down Bridge Street, where you get this really nice metropolitan view. And this has to be one of my favourite views. When I came into this room originally, started planning it all out, I went, wow, that's symmetrical. It works so well, and then you've got this really nice big view with the bushes and the flag just down the street that way. Perfect, isn't it? So let's go on upstairs before we head outside. There's no kitchen done in this one, so through these two doors, let me just show you. This would be the area for the dining room, and then behind that would be the kitchen, and then from there you've got the service area. Nice big window in the kitchen here that would look out onto more houses and then across to the school. That's right, I did sort of drop a little spoiler in there. So this will be part of the Let's Build Walhampton series, and that is where the school of Walhampton is going to be. So stick around for that episode at some point. I don't know when, it's going to be in the future at some point. Anyway, climbing up the stairs now. As I've mentioned in previous videos, who left the door open? I'm not very good at doing interiors, so whatever I do in here, you guys can change up and do whatever you wish if you want to have a little copy of this build. But yeah, so coming in here, again, heavy dark oak furniture, and then we've got this nice big 4-poster bed sitting in front of the fireplace. So yeah, I don't know where I've really got the inspiration for these from. I think I've seen quite a lot of stuff just out and about. But yeah, big views out these windows again. You've got some really nice places you can probably live in, and then you've got the nice look over there at the obelisk, the Buckland Place monument. So without further ado, I think we're all itching to get out into that garden just to go see what it looks like. Let's take the expressway down. Almost. Right. Into the garden. So you're greeted straight away with these lovely trees and the lilacs over there. And I've just gone for quite a simple rustic garden. And so you're greeted with the back of the house. It's beautiful. You've got this lovely pediment with all of this quartz around it, these 2 dormers up there, and then you've got all of the coin stones in the corners made out of these polished granite. So you come out here after a lovely day in your sort of living room. You sit out here in your wicker chair, a very sort of period these are, and you can drink your coffee out of a flower pot because that's all we've got in Minecraft to act as sort of mugs. That or pickles. I didn't really put pickles out here. There's a man around here who likes his pickles a bit too much. Anyway, this is one of my favourite views. This sort of gas lamp you can see through these 2 trees here. That to me screams Victorian, screams Edwardian, and I really like that. So coming round to the side of the garden, this is, yeah, again, a nice view. This is where you would see it from the sort of town area. So this is where you would get your guests in from for garden parties, because this place is definitely big enough for garden parties. I'm going to sort of christen this place at the end as well with a name, so stick around for that in 2 seconds. So we're going to walk into a bit more of the service part of the house. This is where the servants would work. So this is the little yard, little parking area for the carts, where you offload all your goods, come through that big gate there from the side. Like I said, this would open up into the kitchen, but I haven't done any of the details in there because I spent all my time building 2 other houses. I know, why do I do this? So these are a couple of workers' cottages, quite hard to get right in this style. I wanted to go for quite small, but I wanted the windows to be too wide because Georgian houses sort of are. It's just the way they are. I can't explain it any better than that because it's more about looks than anything. Anyway, so they're built in the same style as the extension was here. So I went off with some birch again, and yeah, that's just a nice place for these these servants and workers to live. Anyway, let's get round to the front of the house again, where I can put the nameplate on, and we can wrap up this video. Right. So in true Walhampton style, going to use some birch here, and this house is going to be named after the town it sort of came from, so we're going to name it Lymington House, and that's just an homage to the town itself and how I've always used it, but also just the fact that Walhampton wouldn't exist without the inspiration from that place. So I thought a lovely nice big house like this deserves a name like that, because in real life it's called Monmouth House and we haven't got anything to do with Wales here. So Lymington House it is. So guys, thank you all for watching. This has been great fun and I've really enjoyed doing this transformation. So like I said, I might do some more in the future. So anyway guys, thank you all for watching. I will see you next time with another building video from Walhampton or somewhere else. So catch you later and goodbye.